Fani's last-ditch effort to try to get a victory in her disqualification case is not coming out with a bang. In fact, it's a whimper. It's pretty pathetic. You can see this got filed right before the closing arguments in the evidentiary hearing. It is in the Fulton County Superior Court, state of Georgia, and the case, of course, is against the 19 co-defendants, including Trump. Here is what Fani's office sent in. This is Adam Abate, that dude who could not sit down when he needed to back during the hearing. He submitted this one just before closings. He said, all right, Your Honor, Judge McAfee, here's the notice of our proposed supplemental exhibit. Wow. Remember, Trump's team submitted a supplemental exhibit, and it was in the form of an affidavit, and it was in the form of cell phone records that showed that Nathan Wade had been colluding with Fani Willis at her condo on multiple occasions. And they flipped out about that. They said, you can't bring that in. Well, of course, they're bringing that in to impeach Nathan Wade's testimony, right? Nathan Wade's testimony was that I did not go over there a bunch. They said, yeah, you did. He's the subject of this. And so that was for impeachment evidence. Now, they did not call this witness in. So this guy is just an affidavit, which feels to me like new evidence. It's not meant to impeach anybody. It's meant to corroborate someone. And so it's new evidence to support it. But either way you splice this, just in terms of what is it as evidence and does it come in or not, it's pathetic any way you splice it. Here's why. They say, all right, comes now Fulton County and Adam and Fani, and we have a supplemental exhibit 1. Here is what this exhibit is. It's an affidavit from this guy. This guy's name is Stanley Herbert Brody. And I've heard different reports on this guy. What is his background, right? Is he a MAGA Republican or not? And they say that in April or May, okay, Brody, Stanley, May 2023, Brody was working at Acumen Wine Gallery in Napa, California. Okay, he's the wine guy. And that Brody, the wine guy, greeted and met with Willis and Wade when they were at the wine gallery. Well, that's nice. So again, they're telling us more about their trips and their vacations. And I thought this was wild when Fani was doing it. Fani was like, oh no, we went on like a 3-course thing. We had champagne, we had lobster, we had steak. Then we went out, we had some more steak, some more lobster, and I love Grey Goose. She's walking us through all this. We're like, okay, hope you had a good time while everybody else was working in Fulton County. But anyways, so wine guy says, I greeted them when they showed up, and that Brody exchanged pleasantries. Oh, hi, Big Fani. What kind of wine would you like? And she's like, well, I'm kind of a Grey Goose person, but I guess I'll take it. She says, I need my glasses, some water, and my documents, and some wine. So they tasted wine, and they discussed his profession with DA Willis and Wade. Now, Willis paid the bill. Okay, so this wine guy says paid the bill for tasting with $400 in cash. All right, so now Fani has evidence. She's like, see, I told you I paid in cash all the time. Here's evidence. So she goes and finds one dude who she paid cash. Now, the affidavit is attached as a supplemental exhibit. Says he's available to come and testify. And if you don't accept his affidavit, we ask that he be permitted to testify today at 1 p.m. at the hearing. So they're going to drag out wine guy. All right, here's what wine guy says. He says, all right, affidavit of Stanley Herbert Brody says this guy personally appeared before me. The undersigned officer who administers oaths swears the following is true. So wine guy, he says, my name is Stanley Herbert Brody. I'm over 18 years of age and I'm under no legal disability. And I'm competent to attest to the matters stated herein on this affidavit. He says, I'm a real estate broker and a salesperson involved in the sales of wineries and vineyards in Napa Valley. That's Pelosi territory. I have been engaged in the business of wineries for 43 years. And I was formerly involved in Acumen Wine Gallery's business located in Napa. Now, sometime during the dates of April to May, question mark on that one. Why don't you know the dates? At approximately 3 to 4 p.m., I greeted and I met with Mr. Nathan J. Wade and Miss Fani Willis at the wine gallery. So we don't know what date it was. Was there a receipt there? Did he report that as income? Now, during my encounter with Mr. Wade and Miss Willis, we exchanged pleasantries. We spoke about different wine selections. We tasted the wine and we discussed our professions. This encounter lasted for approximately 2.5 hours. Beautiful. Now, at the conclusion of the tasting, I retrieved the bill and presented it to Mr. Wade and to Miss Willis. Miss Willis asked for the receipt. Hopefully she has that. She reached into her purse and she grabbed a big fat stack of cash and she had paid with approximately $400 in cash. She added a very generous tip. This total included 2 bottles of wine and 1 tasting, and so they were feeling pretty good there. And so Stanley submits this. Stanley Herbert Brody, sworn and subscribed to me. They're in California and sent in and served upon everybody. So it's just like so pathetic. Okay, so are they going to give us one of these for all of their trips? Because we know they went to Belize. So this is only Napa Valley. Did they go out one time? Are they going to go out to every restaurant and confirm that it was even Stevens across the board or no? Like we're supposed to just extrapolate from this one random wine guy that this was the standard in every case and that is not a benefit. So the idea being, right, if she paid in cash, it was even Stevens. And so Fani did not get a benefit. benefit. And that goes back up to our original prong here, where there is a benefit. Relationship was already admitted. And was it material to the case, right? Is it a pay for prosecution? So Fani gives us one example amongst many, and we're just supposed to extrapolate that shows that there was no benefit provided to Fani, when obviously that's not true. They did go to Napa Valley together with her boyfriend, right? And he paid for a bunch of this stuff all over the place, and she paid it all back in cash. Of course, none of it is traceable. There's no records about any of it. And Fani, it sounds like she does have a receipt, okay? He gave her a receipt. She says that she doesn't have any records of a lot of this stuff, but he gave her the receipt because Fani asked for it right there. So hopefully Fani can dig that out, because I don't think we've ever seen that. So apparently she walks around with just a big, purse full of cash. And that's the last minute, last ditch attempt. And honestly, it's like pathetic. It's like, oh my gosh, you just went out and you found some rando person to come in here and draft this affidavit for you. That's all you got. Good luck.